Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally making our debut appearance in the 2016 Zero Hour World Series.
Do I look pretty, Machine?
Well, your shirt is nice and red.
If I'm making my debut, I want to be pretty. So,
probably
yeah.
incredibly distracting as well, because the UI is generally pretty dark, and then my shirt's dark, and then you just had this giant, bright red shirt.
Ridiculous looking shirt. Yeah, I didn't really plan that out when I picked this one up, Machine. So I hope y'all can forgive me and try and keep your eyes off my shirt and on the game, because it should be pretty hype. It will be DustinRhodes down the bottom here as our USA laser super weapon. What am I saying? There you go.
And Kassad will be our USA vanilla. So hopefully we'll see some laser locks as red as Blake's shirt. You know, you're in for a good time when the map is littered with red laser. Also, I love it for getting thumbnails as well, because whenever I post a video, obviously I get a thumbnail to post, and when you have lots of laser locks, it looks really cool.
It does. So I was going to say DustinRhodes wins because he had 4 missile defenders, but not anymore. Oh, that's actually a pretty good drop here. Missile defender off to the side here, and it also prevents the laser lock onto Kassad's Chinook.
So is he going for the counterattack? Yeah, he is going for the Chinook, or maybe he's just actually mining. No, he actually is going for the counterattack. Sometimes if your supply gets zoned away, it's a good idea to just go aggressively mine somewhere. Keep an eye on it here. It survives. Ranger's going to be gunning them down. Oh, Dozer gets killed.
Does indeed, and these missile defenders are going to be delaying mining time. Same for Kassad. The longer he can just leave these missile defenders in the area, the more mining time gets delayed. It's less about what they kill and more about the presence of the missile defenders, especially when you don't have another supply to go to easily.
Though this supply center could actually get destroyed. Oh no, the Humvees are moving in now.
I should be able to clean that one up, Machine.
And, oh, this is a Chinook though, whoops. DustinRhodes flying over a Chinook despite having missile defenders there. The thing is with the Rangers is because they're so slow, and even then, their DPS is just not good. So even if you'll have Rangers in position, the missile defenders can still laser lock and kill a Chinook. Also funny.
Did DustinRhodes pick up and drop down again? I'm pretty sure he evac his missile defenders. I've been watching the minimap. If you look up the top.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he did.
Here.
Yeah, right. So
nice.
We waited for the Humvees to come in and get out of position, and then picked up the missile defenders and moved them with a Chinook. He Chinook dodged the Humvees. It's next level. That was great. That was fantastic. He's just dodging back and forth. I mean, what's Kassad going to do? He's going to have to... he has to use the Vs together. One V isn't going to kill 3 missile defenders if they're well microed.
I think USA mirrors are a matchup that are so fun to watch, but really frustrating to play. Because there's this constant Chinook laser lock non-stop, and it's really quite stressful, but watching it's fantastic.
It certainly is, Machine. I am loving it. It looks like the attacks have been, in general, cleared up here. Kassad going for a pretty heavy V production, so potentially could be going into some drone play. DustinRhodes, you would think that missile defender dropping is an early game strat. Apparently not.
Hang on, there's no war factory here. There's 2 barracks, and there's no war factory. Wow.
Wow.
That's going to be interesting.
That's a different build order that we haven't seen.
So I feel like I should interject that we are going to be doing this entire series, and this is probably the only series we'll be doing of the round 1, because currently we are only in round 1 of the World Series, and most of the matchups have looked incredibly one-sided. When I say matchups, I mean in terms of the players. Whereas this series looks quite interesting and looks quite close, that's why we're choosing this one in particular. But then later on, we'll definitely be doing the following rounds once we get more well-known top-tier players. And DustinRhodes and Kassad, I'd say they're probably B-tier, Zero Hour pros. They're not the top 5, the Rage, Size, Dominator, but they're definitely very well-known and quite good.
Oh,
nice.
The mad crushes there. That's the GG moment I was just about to say for DustinRhodes. Personally, I've GG'd many a time when my entire missile defender drop has been insta-crushed by Machine's supply truck or a Humvee.
It's a very risky playstyle when you don't have any Vs, and Kassad just pushed out with the Humvees. DustinRhodes, we can see that he got put far too behind in all that missile defender harassment. Look at the supplies collected. 8,400 versus 4,800. Only in USA mirrors do you see such little supplies collected. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how many Chinook drops is that? That's 4? That's 4, I think, for DustinRhodes over the course of the entire game. Not a lot, Machine, not a lot. However, we'll be moving into game number 2. As far as I'm aware, World Series is played on random.
It's all random,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So Kassad's going to be the super weapon again, because he was...
No.
Or did they swap over?
He was
Oh,
vanilla
of course.
last time,
Yeah, he was
and
up
now
north.
he's super weapon, and DustinRhodes will be playing as our China infantry general, and therefore receives the Archon Hawk bias.
Yeah, of course.
Man, I love me some China infantry. I certainly do. Oh, that's interesting. It's actually a barracks opener. It's safe. It's not a bad move actually here from DustinRhodes. It gives you a little bit faster tank hunter production, and it means that you have some safety. Minigunners are interesting.
So I think what he's maybe doing here is getting some infantry on the left side to defend his supply, so then he gets an outpost on the right side, so then... Oh, he's going for all... Is he going for all caps?
Must be going for all caps. Yeah, this is a weird build order. I was definitely all caps machine.
I'm a little bit confused, actually.
Yeah, I'd say that the minigunners are probably on missile defender drop.
Oh,
like,
of course. That's what it's for.
Harassment.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Of course, you can counter that by having really good supply truck micro and going for crushers, but as an overall general, having missile defenders on the supplies is a good idea. However, DustinRhodes has just brought them all together in the middle. Yeah.
Well, I think because he worked out that if there was going to be a missile defender drop, it would have already happened by now.
Yeah.
So that he had them there in position, that he would have been able to defend the missile defender drops, and then he realized, okay, there's no drops here. Let's put him in an outpost and push out. And in the middle here, we see a pretty chock-a-block full of minigunners and the tank hunters.
We are on the same wavelength machine. I was about to say the exact same thing. I am feeling what you are throwing down. Does look like a Dozer will go down here.
So aggressive though.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great barracks if he can hold it, because it's right near the supply. But the Humvee can probably gun this one down. That being said though, he's actually going to be firing it with a minigun around the RPGs, and that minigun does a fair bit of damage against that Humvee. And there is actually an outpost coming down.
If the outpost is kited correctly, this could be an amazing machine. It
Oh,
actually
the
goes
Humvee's
the
going
evac.
for crushes. Let's see, the Humvees should be able to clean this one up though, but maybe not. He gets a TNT off, nice. Still, the barracks isn't actually being attacked by the Humvee.
We really need to see the another one gets taken out by the TNT. We need to see the infantry stop micro. Hopefully we do see that at some point from the V. No, doesn't actually kill the outpost there, destroying the shell. Because of how low the Humvee was, we could have just seen like a stop from an RPG inside of the barracks. Would have been much harder to focus for the V. The V wouldn't have auto-acquired it. Would have required guard mode, but we didn't see it.
Good trade earlier. Got 3 Vs down for the price of 1 outpost. So we should be keeping score. It was, of course, Kassad 1-0, right?
Yes,
Right.
and I will be sorting out a scoreboard
And it's only
at
best
my
of-
earliest convenience.
Best
so.
of 5, though. Do we really need a scoreboard
Bro,
for best of 5?
we're the general gentlemen. I think we need a scoreboard.
All right. Well, it looks like this barracks should be cleaned up by Kassad.
Actually, very well microed there. Gets the evacs down from the missile defenders, ensures there's no issues there. Keeping an eye on the map as well. Kassad going to be finding out another outpost.
This is a big weakness for USA. Oh, look at the positioning there of the Humvees getting caught behind the cliffs. But because you have the cliff right next to the supplies, then the Chinook's quite vulnerable. And it's a pretty small map as well, so it's pretty easy to get a flank off with quads or whatever anti-air unit you have, in this case, the minigunners and the RPGs.
Look, evac micro on point here from Kassad. His unit mixing is
Nice.
fantastic. Has the minigunners ready to go. Minigunners are fantastic against Humvees. They do not have great DPS against infantry.
Yeah, it's mainly the range. You can kite minigunners easier than you can kite the RPGs, but the damage is great if you can get it off, get a few rounds off of damage. So the Chinooks, they were sent away here to the left side just to mine up. Got to make sure he macros that back up. It's a very easy mistake to do when you don't have a radar. Is you move your Chinooks away, great, but you have to move them back. Kassad not wasting too much time, gets them back mining.
Excellent play there. Vs are actually denied by a greater quantity of outposts. If we have a look in DustinRhodes' base, do we see any tech? I mean, I really like the fortified bunker placement. It's going to cover his flank and just means he doesn't have to worry about that side of his base when it comes to defense.
Oh, this is last Dozer. Oh man, he got his 3rd supply down, which is great, but getting that forward barracks, it's just such a risky move when you only have 1 Dozer. And Humvees are pushing out. No outposts are nearby to defend it, but he's going for some very aggressive play, is DustinRhodes. One thing I want to shout out is I love how Kassad has this garrison. He just put a single missile defender or whatever it was inside of it, just preventing it from being used against him. And actually, a lot of tank hunters here may be able to get this war factory down. Can't be too close to the war factory spawn, though. If a Humvee spawns or an ambo and could crush all of those tank hunters, like this, in a line especially, focus it down straight away, though.
Yeah, so very well micro from DustinRhodes, realizes the dozer has gone down and he needs to close out this game. China Infantry, I'd say, do pretty well. Another big engagement, though. RPG's going to be sniping down another B. China Infantry do pretty well because the majority of their important units are on just... you can actually get them just from the factory. Even building assault troop crawlers will get you minigunners. However, it means no ECMs for DustinRhodes, and he has to close this game out before Search and Destroy comes online.
Yeah, that and Pathfinders too, but it looks like at this stage there's going to be no hope. There's too many RPGs on the ground, no flashbangs even, and it's one thing you got to keep an eye out for when you're versing China Infantry. Actually, it's not done just yet. There's a lot of rangers spawning from those destroyed buildings, but look at the mini-map. There's just a line of units being rallied forwards.
Charge!
But when your entire army consists of rangers...
Yeah. Probably not a good thing. That and crashing Chinooks down on top of Outpost Machine, which is, you know, never a big plus. Yeah, this is a pretty brutal ending to this game.
Yeah, GG,
Yeah,
so it's 1-1.
It is 1-1, yeah. So that's actually really another thing. When it comes to building, that I do want to mention, because I actually get to meta when it comes to China Infantry, and I really do enjoy that. Assault troop cores are a really time-efficient method of producing minigunners relative to just producing them out of the barracks, because you get 8 minigunners from one assault troop crawler, which obviously it takes less time to build an assault troop crawler than it does to build 8 minigunners from 8 barracks.
Yeah.
If you require units for mixing, that's a nice way to do it. If you need more minigunners for your attack outpost, and I'm just going to grab a piece of paper for a General Gentleman's scoreboard, because guaranteed
It's best of 5, man.
partway through this game, the General's going to be like, oh man, what's the score? I don't know.
I'll talk about something that I wanted to mention at the end of that last game. Is against China Inf, I think it's very important to actually scout your opponent's composition, or at least their production, because when you're versing China Inf, there's two kind of different, well, even 3 playstyles I can go for. They can go for mass outposts, which seems to be the more standard playstyle. Is it may or may not involve 2 factories, but you can just mass out lots and lots of outposts. What are you looking for? A pen?
I need a pen.
Just
man, maybe we don't even need a scoreboard.
Windows key R, notepad.
Okay, right. No scoreboard, guys. You heard it here first. You can blame the machine if we lose track.
Actually,
you
don't even need Windows key R, because on Windows 10 you just hit Windows key and type in notepad and it comes up. But score is 1-1 for Dominator and Kassad, and just to wrap myself up, or they can go mass barracks, mass infantry, which is when you need flashbangs, or they can go MiGs, which is when you ideally want to have Avengers. And in that situation last game, we saw Kassad. He probably maybe just thought it was going to be outpost spam, because he had a lot of these, a lot of missile defenders, but it actually was just a bunch of barracks production, with some outposts obviously mixed in, and it just meant that he didn't have any anti-infantry, he didn't have any flashbangs, and couldn't deal with that.
Yeah. Look, when you have 10 infantry evacing on the ground in front of you, it's not a good time when you have 3 Vs in the area, not much way to deal with it, machine. So we're on to game number 3. DustinRhodes will be sporting in as our China nuke.
And Kassad will be the vanilla, so interesting matchup. I would say definitely favors the nuke, but the vanilla has a lot of potential for air units. The air units are very cheap. Mainly the Helix infantry are cheaper, as well as the air units, so the Helix benefits especially. There isn't really much reason you would want to go for MiGs in this matchup, but then if there's a lot of outposts, that's when you really want to get the MiGs. And vanillas can go for a very outpost heavy playstyle, but generally it's more Helix oriented, as we see the airfield already being thrown down.
Not at all surprising, especially if DustinRhodes decides to go for a bit of nuke battlemaster harassment. Helix is a nice way to clean that up, and on a map like Gorge Drought, the Helix should arrive in time before the nuke battlemasters can hurry their way across the map. Yeah,
the classic China mirror matchup, where it's basically you roll a d20 and go, does my opponent, is he building helixes, is he going outposts, is he going nuke battle-masters? I don't know, because I don't have scouting.
Does my build or counter it? I'm not sure.
And I think that's why you see outposts, because they're so safe. Because they're both anti-vehicles and they're both anti-air alike. They're obviously not amazing against air units, but they certainly help. Having outposts better than battle masters. So having a bunker helix, and this is more out, and a gat. See to DustinRhodes, he gets a crit. He lands the 20. He obviously he knows what's up, but it's just a pretty standard thing, because even if it's outposts from Kassad, from the vanilla, you can see it coming and go, oh, okay. And then you can react, and then since you have your own outposts, you're not really at a loss. Where the worst thing you can do is have 0 anti-air, and then go, oh, whoops, I'm gonna lose now because I don't have any anti-air. So I think not opening up with some anti-air is just quite risky.
Certainly would agree with you there, Machine. Yeah, this is just well played by DustinRhodes. Scouted the helix and...
Uh-oh.
Oh, but no, lose dozer, please. And it's actually going to go down.
DustinRhodes has lost a fair bit, though. He's lost 2 gats and an outpost, just killing that dozer. I love how there's also these bunkers, because it means the helix can push out and be very aggressive, where normally you'd have to worry about the nuke battle masters or the gatlings sneaking through, especially when all you really have is air units, and then if 2 or 3 gatling tanks try to kill your trucks, you can't do much about it.
This is cool. So there are, I suppose, a couple of options here for Kassad. Keeping the helix alive is really important, because there is always the threat of there. So we have to see DustinRhodes continually invest into anti-air units.
I love this dragon tank being mixed in, because what it does, as well as obviously burning everything, is it soaks up so much damage. The dragon tanks have a huge rocket resistance that if the dragon tank is in the front, it just soaks up so much of the outpost damage and really prevents it from having an impact sniping down the other outposts belonging to you into the Gatling tanks.
I love this play here from DustinRhodes. Not only does he force the helix off, what are those 2 units in the middle doing, Machine? What are they doing? Like, further up, my friend. What are those 2 damaged units doing? They're being repaired. Players actually repairing their units for free is fantastic. There is no point throwing them away into the middle. I mean, what are you going to kill them? Like, maybe a tank hunter? Is that going to be a cost-efficient trade? No. What'll happen, I buy a little bit more time, I heal them up for free, and then I take them back on the field, and they're much more cost-efficient. I love that play from DustinRhodes.
Okay, so we have DustinRhodes going for an oil cap, but he has to be a little bit careful here, because he's going for oil cap, and he's going for his propaganda center. Looks like he's going for his 3rd supply as well. You can't overcommit to that. We have seen some players before where they over-invest in tech and expanding at the same time, and it can backfire. Looks like he's at least leaving the dozer here, not going for his supply yet. So I like how he's timing himself, because he has a map control for now, but it looks like it may soon swap hands, as there's a bit more reinforcements from Kassad. But then having an ECM is going to be a great addition.
Also, a tech choice here from Kassad. He doesn't seem to have a lot of units. I'm guessing there's a prop center somewhere, or...
Yep. Oh,
yes,
man, nice
there,
read.
Yeah. Gotta know what's going on, man. Gotta know what's going on. So yeah, there's a prop center and a command center, in fact, here from Kassad. So he has gone for the tech option. As I said, that is an option for him. He has the helix as a threat. He's starting to build up this ground army as well. I am a big fan of the propaganda center.
These dragon tanks sneaking through, they haven't been revealed as well, so they actually should get a good ambush location. But that being said, the helix... Oh, out of position. A lot of Gatling tanks are there, and I think now we have the ECM mixed in. DustinRhodes should be a little bit more safe to poke away, but these dragon tanks, the
Very
helix moving
sneaky.
in. Oh, an overlord as well, actually, a vanilla overlord. I think probably China mirrors are the best time that you can use the vanilla overlords. Obviously against GLA, the Jarman makes them too risky. Against USA, mass laser locks. But same against China is you have the Lotus for disable. But it's still worth mixing in, I think, depending on your opponent's composition. Considering there's only ECMs and GATs, and a composition that Overlords shine against. ECMs obviously can disable the Overlord, but they have a lot of health, so it takes a long time. Your best counter to Overlords is just Lotus, unless there's a lack of anti-air, in which case Helixes can work too.
I smell an engagement coming on Machine. I smell it in the air. It's gonna happen.
Is there a Lotus from DustinRhodes?
Doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, I don't see one, and that's gonna make a big difference in the Overlord engagement. Man, the massing Gatling fire though. Oh wow. barely survives does that Gatling, does the Helix, and probably only because of the speaker tower regenning the health of that Helix during all those Gatling tanks firing at it. So, well, the forward supply, but won't get any mining off here.
Solid meta, my friend. The trucks have been pulled here from Kassad, which is nice. So DustinRhodes has the positional advantage on his army. Fantastic. I love it. It means he is mining from the third supply.
Lotus is cornered. There's Gatling cannon down the Overlord for revealing. Yeah, a little bit risky going for that cap there.
I'd say worth. I mean, now there's a red guard there, maybe not, but the RD platform is going to be annoying if nothing else. But with the red guard with a capture upgrade, maybe not.
Isn't that just the ultimate way to describe those RD platforms? Though, is they're annoying if nothing else.
Yeah.
It's literally what they are.
There aren't that many lackluster units in Company of Hero in Command and Conquer machine, but the RD platform.
There aren't many lackluster units.
Yeah,
are you kidding?
There are quite a few.
Sentry drones.
It's one of the worst ones. Man, sentry drones are the best. You can just park them on the oil, and when Archonhawk goes to cap the oil and it just tries to work out why his rangers are dying, he's just not sure.
Exactly.
He has no idea why the rangers are dying.
Oh, whoops! I minimized. Oh crap!
Did you minimize your hour? Why have you done this?
Oh no!
Why have you done this to me, machine?
Uh-oh.
I think if you ruin this,
I don't even know why.
I'm gonna be mad.
Minimized. The hell? Was it running windowed or something?
What have you done?
Alright, I'm gonna have to stop recording and start this again. My apologies. Okay, we're back. We had some weird technical issue where my 0 hour minimized and I couldn't load it again. So we're gonna just go jump back into this game. We didn't really miss much. I think maybe missed about 10 seconds of nothing actually happening. So we'll go back into it. Fortunately, our recording didn't corrupt. I was a little bit worried that the 30 minutes or so of the series we lost the recording. But no, we are good, despite the janky interruption. But there we go. Big engagement here. Not very good positioning coming out of Kassad. But at the same time, DustinRhodes decides to back away. Oh, here come the Helixes! Where did they come from?
I have no idea, machine. We failed to see them build, and so did DustinRhodes. The Helixes are... Oh, they are destroying everything, machine. They clean up 2 Overlords there. Thankfully, Gatlings arrive in time for DustinRhodes. He had the right unit composition, but these Helixes could get so much work done in the meantime.
ACM was out of position. The 2 Overlords got sniped with no deflection. And good kiting by the Helixes. None of them got focused enough by the Gatling tanks. So great engagement there by Kassad in the end. Even though at the start, DustinRhodes had a pretty good concave that he was sniping a few of Kassad's units without much retaliation.
Yeah, really using the mobility of those nuke overlords there relative to vanilla overlords of
bro.
Kassad. Again, getting that mobility in.
We're going to have nuke MiGs.
We are going to have nuke MiGs
yes.
machine. That is the reason we see nuke missiles. This makes the machine very happy. And in case you are unaware, the hidden helix is the deadliest. That is the deadliest type of helix. That one you don't see coming. So yeah, the nuke missile's out. It's actually, yeah, the power's up as well. This is DustinRhodes abusing the mobility of his nuke overlords. It's fantastic.
We'll get one overlord down. At the same time, getting a missile silo for vanilla can be very effective too, because then you actually get the upgrades, so then you can have your battle masters and overlords moving at the nuke speed and having extra damage too. So if you get in a really late game situation, you could argue that vanilla outscales nuke just because of those upgrades, but realistically the nuke MiGs are just really, really good. It pretty much forces the China to go for a very overlord heavy playstyle because the splash damage they have is fantastic against things like Gatlings, ECM outposts. But overlords are pretty durable. They can take a fair bit of MiG shells, but at the same time, one of the helixes gets sniped down, maybe even 2 of them. Oh no.
Taking a bit of damage. The ECM was there for deflection, which is pretty fantastic from DustinRhodes. However, it isn't cleaned up by Kassad. Here we go, there's the airfield. I was thinking for a moment that DustinRhodes wouldn't build it, which would be weird, just going for the nuke missile. Hey, why not get nuke MiGs as well, especially against the composition.
Oh, that's a bad spot to leave your helixes. He's gonna lose the vetted one, maybe even all of them in fact, but no, what? Oh, the targeting, look at the targeting of that. Both of those helixes got taken to about 10% health, and the propaganda helix obviously can't defend itself. So if the targeting was better there by DustinRhodes, he could have easily wiped all 3 of them. Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, it was a bit brutal.
Either way, DustinRhodes is looking like he's in a great spot. He has the third supply, he has his nuke silo, he actually has Gatling cannons too, which I think is amazing against the Helixes. It's going to prevent them from really having any impact, at least an aggressive impact. They can still be used defensively, but when you have a nuke silo and nuke MiGs, you don't have to be too aggressive. I also love how we have the nuke cannons mixed in by Kassad. He actually had to spend the General's point to unlock them. I think it's going to be a little unfortunate, though, they won't do anything because his opponent decided to go for a campy playstyle because he has map control and has the nuke missile. But if it was a different situation where DustinRhodes was trying to be very aggressive, then that nuke cannon or the nuke cannons would be amazing.
Certainly would be, Machine. It's the deterrent as well. I mean, DustinRhodes is now going for a campy playstyle, but had he not decided to go for that, if there weren't nuke cannons on the field, Kassad probably would have lost this game.
That being said, though, there are a lot of helixes here. Actually, a crazy amount of them. But there's plenty of anti-air.
The nuke cannon fire.
Yeah, actually, this could be devastating here. Will it hit the moving targets? It's going to be aiming at the ECMs. Gets 3 tanks down. Not too bad, but not good enough. There is, I believe, a second one as well. It's a little bit too far behind to get some work done.
I believe a cost-efficient trade there just for the nuke cannon, and there is one here for backup as well.
Here we go.
Here come the MiGs.
This is what we want to see.
I think the MiGs actually went for the trucks there. Fantastic. It's actually a great play from DustinRhodes.
There's actually a lot of overlords and not much else for the ground army, so they won't be too effective. But they're also not bad against the helixes. They're still not amazing, though, because the helixes have a lot of health. I can't remember how many it is exactly, but it's I think it's at least 2 to get a helix down, and normally it's 3 black and napalm MiGs and 4 regular MiGs. So helixes are still quite durable. I actually like how Kassad is changing his composition because he knows there's going to be nuke MiG, so obviously goes very overlord and very helix heavy, rather than just spamming infantry.
I'm not sure how this works. I suppose a possibility is Kassad looks for the ground engagement and snipes the Gats down and then uses the helix. That's a possibility.
Yeah, and
but I mean, with these Gatling cannons on the field, it's going to be so hard to use these helixes aggressively.
Still, there are so many of them, they can easily muscle their way through them. But if there's support of the Gatling tanks and the MiGs, it'll be a little bit harder. I mean, one thing about the nuke MiGs, though, is they actually are good at displacing the overlords, even if they don't kill them on their own. It means it gets them cool out of position, so then the overlords and the ground army of DustinRhodes can swoop in and finish them off.
So do we see Kassad going for anything else behind this? Do we see
helixes.
We see more helixes. I think he's always had those, 8. It's probably more helixes than we've ever seen in a game. What's the ideal unit mix? I mean, like, normally you want what? It's like two bunker elixirs to 1 prop elix, or 2 or 3 bunker elixirs to 1 prop elix. What's the unit mix when you have 8 helixes?
Oh, wow. A barracks supply and a propaganda center. That was a very successful carpet bomb. This one actually not so much. And Arty Strike as well. Man, power plant supply, almost the airfield too. Some very good support powers coming out of DustinRhodes.
That could close the game out here, Machine. That's a lot of investment that we're going to have to see from...
There's also no hackers from Kassad, where DustinRhodes does have hackers, so this game is really not looking good here. I think DustinRhodes has had his 3rd supply mining for far too long. Took some good engagements. And we have the nuke missile firing soon as well. When was the last time... Wow. Nuke MiGs working as intended.
Blowing things up. When was the last time I saw...
I was going to say nuke missile.
Actually fire, yeah.
Let alone be built. What? When was the last time you saw a nuke missile be built, let alone get fired?
This is the Kassad all-in. Uh-oh, there's a nuke missile on the way.
But there's also a lot of Gatling cannons, and the range they have is phenomenal. I hope we have the chain guns. We have no chain guns from DustinRhodes. Bit of a mistake there.
This MiG's gonna die.
Let's see. See,
they should... Well,
they actually do AoE as well. Wow, the AoE is not bad. I can't remember if regular MiGs do air AoE. Oh, yeah, where is it going?
Nuke missile.
I wonder. Oh, there it is. Airfield, War Factory, Dozer.
Yep. Worth.
Not amazing, but it's obviously still good. He has a big ground army that the helixes on the ground doesn't matter too much. Sometimes players blow their super weapons on bases when they should be saving it for the army, but in this case, yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Okay. What I want to see is a nuke missile helix collision, just blows up in the air and takes out all the helixes. So. All right, this army's huge. DustinRhodes has played a pretty fantastic game. Little does he know he can close this one out, but he's just chilling at the moment. There's nothing wrong with that. And throwing down some more Gatling cannons because, hey, when your opponent has nothing but helixes.
Pretty sure if a nuke missile hit a helix, it would actually be more powerful because then it spreads out the blast further. Well, not the blast, but the radiation and such. But why am I? Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know what that was about, but a little bit, maybe too many Gatling tanks for this engagement, but doesn't want to get caught off guard by all these helixes. I want to see the helixes fly in and to get completely decimated by these Gats. That would make me very happy.
I really like that all these Gats are getting kept safe. They can't really contribute that much given the size of DustinRhodes' army when it comes to Overlord v Overlord engagement. So keeping them all alive for the helixes is really important.
I think Kassad maybe lost his opportunity there because if he was going to have an impact with his helixes, I think he's trying to base race, which is probably, I guess, the smartest thing.
I want to see them all get taken out.
Yeah, I want to see them try and 1v1 the Gatling tanks. But now they're going for the Gatling cannons in the base. They're still firing, and there's another Gatling cannon on the ground there.
That's 2 helixes down.
So these helixes are just not...
3 helixes down.
Not really doing too much. I mean... Yeah, and the nuke me's come through as well. It's probably the least exciting way we have seen 10 helixes get destroyed. Yeah. Actually, he may kill the internet center.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no follow-up to this. Even if he takes out the internet center, he can't kill the hackers.
Yeah.
Leaves the internet center really low. It's kind of silly. He has to go back for the nuke MiGs. Another helixer is down. It was a valiant effort. As it turns out, it was
actually.
It's good evac. I mean, it was really intelligent of DustinRhodes to build so many of these Gatling cannons.
Yeah. And the thing is with base defenses is, I think in competitive 0-hour games, they have the potential to be very strong, but you have to know when and when not to build them. And that's something that new players don't know how to do, is they just always build them all the time everywhere, and it's just not a good idea. But in these sort of situations, then yeah, they actually are very important to have.
Yeah, you get that oil, Derek.
He's gonna have to eat TNT it so many times though. The damage
TNTs
against buildings,
don't do a lot against buildings.
It's really, yeah.
There we go. It's more efficient to actually keep firing with your horror tank hunter than it is against a TNT.
The damage really isn't that much, because they also don't one-shot Vet 2 Battle Masters either. I think it's only equivalent of about, I don't know, 6 or 7 rockets or something. Not amazing.
So that is indeed the GG. DustinRhodes, incredible use of support powers as well. Awesome RD strike, awesome carpet bomb, solid nuke missile as well.
Yeah, so Kassad had to rebuild a lot of his base there, but DustinRhodes playing an excellent game. Dragged on for a little bit long, but this game was interesting, and I love seeing those late game China mirrors. Nuke MiGs though really dictate that matchup. It's okay, you cannot build these units now because I have nuke MiGs, so it may be a little bit unbalanced there in the favor of a nuke China, but it was pretty funny.
It was good fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. So moving on to the next one. That will be 2-1 in favor of DustinRhodes.
Yep, you are right. See, we're doing well without a scoreboard, aren't we?
Yeah, no.
Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have GLA mirrors. We've had our fun with China mirrors. And now we have to go face the cold half truth of 0-hour tournaments, as they always involve GLA mirrors.
And a great sigh was heard across the land. The general gentlemen were very sad. We were very sad. But no, I think we can deal, Machine. I'm feeling it. We can deal. We can give it a shot. DustinRhodes will be spawning in as our GLA demo.
And the GLA stealth will be played by Kassad. I think the thing is with GLA mirrors is we cast them a lot. And that's us trying not to cast them. And I think the reason why is because GLA mirrors tend to make long games, and people tend to see long games as interesting games. And a lot of times it is the case, but not always. So it feels like there are so many GLA mirrors, but it's obviously just a consequence of there being more attention to the GLA mirrors because they go for much longer typically, and therefore they are often regarded as, look at this interesting game. That, not to say that we don't like GLA mirrors, we just don't like them all the time, which is often how things go when we try and get replays. It's like, oh yeah, look, a 20-minute game, oh, it's GLA mirror. Oh look, a 30-minute, oh, it's GLA mirror. But in a series, when you have lots of other matchups, that's when they're obviously good to have on the side.
So it looks like identical openers here from both of our players. That the standard 3-tunnel network open, and I'm not sure how many terrorists ended up inside of this technical. Oh no, it's a tech RPGs. So you're right. There were.
Look at how
terrorists.
calculated that was by DustinRhodes. He knew he didn't need to split his RPGs because he had 4 of them firing, and that was enough to focus down that technical. If there was 3, then we may have seen DustinRhodes actually go for that split.
How good are the wool? Oh no, the technical is actually going to be forced off by the technical of DustinRhodes. I was going to check the wool-ins of DustinRhodes. We haven't actually had a look yet to see if he has done anything. But there's a tunnel network there. It's better than nothing. Will at least provide some defense from technical worker harassment.
Well, very early third supply here from DustinRhodes. And as for Kassad,
seems like pretty heavy technical play from what I've seen so far. At least 3, maybe 4 technicals inside of these tunnels.
I think because this is such an open map, you generally have to go a bit more technical heavy compared to Scorpions, which are a bit slower in comparison. Toxin Tractor. So that's to clear out the garrisons, also can prevent the tunnels from popping out infantry, or even just technicals as well.
Yeah. Ooh, nice evac actually coming from Kassad. He might manage to snipe the Toxin Tractor down. Yeah, moves the technicals in. Beautiful play from Kassad.
Nice.
That was excellent.
There's actually a terrorist in this technical, maybe looking for the tunnel destroy. Oh, woof. That could have gone a lot worse, because I would not want to be in that building for that terrorist. Because the technical almost got destroyed, and it was almost on top of the toxin radiation.
Yeah. How safe would you feel with sitting in a small radio shack with a couple of guys with C4 strapped to their chest? Would you feel safe, Machine?
Not really, no.
Personally, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would not be feeling it.
Technical goes aggressive, just wants to deny the tunnel. Probably a good trade, because it's near the garrison and it's near the supplies, so this tunnel is so important.
Yeah, so these are the big plays we get to see in GLA mirrors. Someone will happily sacrifice a technical to kill one worker that is building a tunnel network.
Yeah, but he has to keep it up though.
Delay, yeah.
Should be completed. Looks like it, but at the same time, a third supply from Kassad as well. And
those stealth supplies can be a naughty word to deal with, Machine.
Yeah. Look, we have the demolitions upgrade being used. I love that. Remember the time when there was a demo Jarman that got 1v1 by the demolitions?
Dude, I do remember that.
Can't remember what player that was. Actually, it might have been DustinRhodes.
We can just check the General Gentleman swag sheet.
Yeah, I still have
that
it.
Happens to be.
I've been trying to avoid wrecking it, but I probably should put it in a folio or something to really preserve it. These vetted technicals. Oh, actually, they both survive.
Interesting play. So for a couple of rebels are going to go for this sneaky cap, and just finishing a tunnel network is Kassad. It stealths up and the rebels run away as fast as they possibly can. Do we see any palace tech? I mean, I doubt it from what we've seen out of unit production so far, but there we go. No, it's actually coming up here for Dustin Same thing here for Kassad. He's got his palace up. Less units inside of these tunnel networks than I initially thought. It's always hard to tell unless we flick over how many units actually are inside tunnel networks.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that tech RPGs are so cheap, because you get the RPGs from tunnels and the technicals only cost 500, so you can still have a pretty big army in terms of numbers of units, and then it looks expensive, but if you compare that to quads or Scorpions, it's actually a very cheap army. So we have a battle bus and a Jarman here from Kassad.
Yeah.
DustinRhodes shouldn't be too far off, going for his double arms dealer. So I wonder if he will go for the same, or if he will actually go for buggies.
Will be the Jammin' bus here for Kassad.
Jammin' bus?
Jammin' bus. Jammin' in the bus.
Oh, is that a song?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay. Because with you, often it is a song reference.
It certainly could have been. I mean, I didn't come up with the one on this occasion, but no, it definitely could have been. But there is a Jarman nonetheless.
Wait,
wow,
Terratech's a garrison?
A garrison, man. That's next level.
I think actually maybe that was intended for the tunnel, but then he figured he would have lost the technical. Because actually, no, I think what happened there is he thought it was only one RPG in the house, and then realized, oh crap, it's actually 3 RPGs. I'm gonna lose this tech terror. I might as well go for the garrison rather than the tunnel. If it was only one RPG, he would have been able to just drive past it and just go for the tunnel. That's probably what happened. But we'll never know.
I'm gonna say a couple of. We said no, we won't machine unless we somehow find our way into parallel universe. If so, we will ask Callum and Cake how the game went in their alternative reality. So yeah. So rocket buggies are nice against these battle busi. It's a solid choice here from DustinRhodes. Really is the only option, and is absolute standard when it comes to these GLA mirrors.
Look at this! Look at this! Fortunately, the worker was far enough away that it didn't detonate the demo trap. The buggy actually gets the jamming bus. It's not jamming anymore. What was it, jamming that you said?
Yeah, jamming bus. Yeah.
The jamming bus.
They're rocking out, and it's yeah.
Well, their stereo is it has to be replaced now, unfortunately.
Maybe that's why they evac. It's not actually immovable. That it's just that they don't have a stereo anymore. They we'll just walk. No worries.
They need to have a boombox they can walk around with.
Yeah, need that boombox. That's what they're all
the
about.
Noise Marines.
This is shaping up to be a GLA mirror machine.
Yeah, it's the GLA mirror is what it is. There's no... Well, actually, Jarman here, it's revealed. What was that by? Wait, does he have radar van scans already?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he does,
Yeah,
nice.
would do. Yeah. I was actually about to mention, this is the point where you go for radar van scans, especially as DustinRhodes. In particular, he should be going for radar van scans against stealth. You want to be finding those supplies, locating any potentially nasty tunnel networks, and just general scouting.
Oh, the reinforcement pad. We're getting quads being thrown in by Kassad.
Okay. This looks like a bait on the right-hand side here, machine. What? Where did...
Dude, the anthrax bomb was for the reinforcement pad.
Oh, I forget, because the same plane is the drop.
Yeah, it's the only
It's really
time you ever
confusing.
see that plane is for anthrax bombs.
You never see it as well, because, yeah, is for anthrax bombs. So you automatically assume that's what it was.
But, like, we literally saw it drop.
Yeah, I don't know.
On screen.
I just saw it. I didn't even... It wouldn't have mattered. It could have dropped it, and then on the side it could have had it written, I actually just drop things. I don't drop anthrax bombs, and I probably still would have said it was going to drop an anthrax bomb somewhere. Machine. It's just...
Imagine if it dropped a quad and then also the anthrax bomb.
Hey, that's the dream.
That'd be pretty OP. I would definitely capture that.
Yeah.
That structure. Same with USA. It drops a Crusader and also a fuel air bomb every time it flies
It goes
over.
over. Just in any random location.
Yeah, Jarman's here. I think he's looking for the radar van scan because he had it before, and it's. Oh, actually, going for the RPGs is what he's going for. No, okay, backs away now. See, now that Jarman's revealed himself, he has to obviously run back into his tunnel because for fear of Jarman counter snipe. Lots of buggies on quads.
Decent splitting there, but Kassad still loses in that engagement. Not very cost efficient.
The GLA mirror has begun.
Yeah, the problem here is for Kassad in particular, because of his heavy buggy play style. Ideally, his tunnel networks are further back than this. He pops, moves forward a little bit, and he's already within quad pop range of DustinRhodes. The tunnel networks are just too close together, so it makes it hard for the buggies to be effective. I would say he should pop, either from that tunnel network or the other one, rather than from popping from the really close one. Gives him more time to react. See, that was much better. It doesn't even lose a buggy.
Oh, Jarman goes down, and the anthrax bomb. Wow, OP.
POP.
Has the RD platforms too, and it doesn't even have the refinery though. DustinRhodes has had that for a long time. 10% cheaper vehicles. It's worth getting. It means for every 10 vehicles that you build, you can have a free one.
Yeah. You don't even need a stamped rewards card. Because it's cheap for free. You don't even have to carry that around in your wallet. It's just available anytime. Certainly is a good thing.
And this is where the micro gets a little bit more difficult, is because the tunnels, they use up all their slots. So you have to maybe have 2 control groups and use them.
And learn to macro.
Use control groups, learn to macro.
Loving it. Rightio, is it time for the General Gentleman Black Market count?
Time for the General Gentleman Scudstorm count.
Yeah.
1.
1.
All right. Well done.
No, dude, you screwed up the Scudstorm count.
Oh, I did. Oh, wow.
Bro.
I had
come
one
on.
job.
Go again. It's all right.
1, 2.
Nicely done. You nailed it.
Oh, 3 even. Man, this is actually getting out of control. Normally, you don't see Scudstorms this early because normally you want to go for the black markets. But there's actually a fair bit of black markets here already for Kassad.
Very low cooldown Scudstorms at that machine.
Yeah, it's pretty OP. The 5-minute Scudstorms relative to the 6-minute nuke missiles. So that's actually a fair bit here, I suppose, as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a fake one, which will hopefully be turned into a real one. So 7 here for DustinRhodes. We'll compare that to Kassad, see how many he's on. Anthrax bomb. And we'll compare that to, yeah, as I was saying, we'll compare that to Kassad, see how he's going in terms of the black market count. So he's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So almost an even black market count, but I feel like Kassad has had them for longer given the 3 Scudstorms that he has.
Yeah, DustinRhodes pulling ahead in black markets because of the Scudstorms, but I think that should work out in Kassad's favor, especially because they're a little bit compact. So should be able to get at least 2. In this case, there'd be 3 of them, I would say, in a single Scudstorm. But yeah, this is a GLA mirror.
Certainly is.
There are buggies and tunnels, and the buggies are firing at tunnels, and then going back into the tunnels.
Both of our players seem to be fairly experienced with the GLA. I can remember casting Kassad, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure I can remember DustinRhodes' GLA as well, so I don't know. Could be a preference for these guys. They both seem to be quite good. The Kassad is falling out pretty hard.
You would certainly hope that Kassad is experienced with the GLA or Demo Trap, gets 3 quads.
3 free quads.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Oh yeah, that were there for ages. And now he actually, Kassad has managed to open a gap into DustinRhodes' base. There isn't any tunnels here to defend, and these buggies. Oops! Oh, the RD platform did something. Got 2 buggies down, and this is looking good for Kassad, even without having launched the Scudstorms yet. Bit of a forward encampment here. This is going to be for angry mobs, I think.
I'm guessing so. Forward angry mobs. However, barracks destroyed in almost a single pop of these buggies.
Oh, with a splash damage from that single buggy. Gets a fair bit of them down, actually. Not bad. And there's the angry mobs.
Nice against buggies.
Oh, the 2 RD platforms, though. Wow. And the Jarman there having a good time.
Yeah, Jarman is such a hard counter to angry mobs. Okay,
oh, the
so
rebel
ambush.
I think he was trying to kill the Jarman, but it was next to a tunnel, so it didn't work very well. But maybe he didn't realize the tunnel was there because it was stealthed.
Yeah, fairly ineffectual engagement. Look. I'm going to look up in the bottom right and call Kassad taking this game machine. We've got 15 seconds on the first Scudstorm. DustinRhodes has built his own. It could be the sacrificial Scudstorm. What I would love to see is Kassad try and kill the Scudstorm, and then DustinRhodes just instantly sell it as soon as the Scudstorm's launch. That would be pretty next level.
Building another one too, and actually very densely packed to the black markets here too. All right, here we go. It's going to be firing. Which one is it?
They're not firing yet.
They should be ready though. I mean, I think it's because it's stealthed. It doesn't have the animation. But I'm pretty sure it's that one which is ready to fire when they launch up.
There are a considerable amount of bugs with regards to Scudstorm standing up or not standing up.
Well, I think there are a lot of bugs to do with Scudstorms in general. The Scud bug, everyone's favorite exploit.
It's an absolute rain.
Which, for the record, obviously doesn't work with a Gentle.
It certainly doesn't.
Gentle has long fixed that.
That is not okay. Not down with that, which is a good thing. And yeah, okay, here we go. There are the demo bikes.
Oh yeah, his GLA demo. Whoa, gets a fair bit of buggies there. I think this bike transition was a little bit late. One thing to bear in mind though is because Kassad is demo, his Scudstorms DustinRhodes Scudstorms, his demo are going to be more effective. Okay, now they're actually firing.
Yeah, that one's firing.
So he's probably going to be comboing both of them to kill the Scudstorm, I would say. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so he's going for the Scudstorm, because now he'll fire the other one as well. Gets a fair bit of damage down too, kills some units, some workers. So that was actually the best spot to fire it, assuming that he follows it up here with the second one.
Yeah, the second one has fired machines, so
Well, maybe he...
certainly would make sense. There we
I
go.
was going to say maybe he Terra Techs it, because it was very low, but just playing it safe. That Scudstorm investment won't pay off for DustinRhodes, and 2 more Scudstorms are coming up soon for Kassad.
I didn't even think about Demo Bike's machine. It would have been a nice transition.
Yeah, I just forgot that he was demo.
I just forgot we were on 1.4, so... Speedy Demo Bikes, man. Though it has been a while since we casted 1.6, so no excuse.
Well, for me, it was what, 3 days ago?
Oh!
Whenever you and Jono played. Yeah, GG.
GG.
DustinRhodes obviously having no hope there once he lost his Scudstorm. So I expect DustinRhodes had... Well, Kassad was north though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so it was Kassad that pulled ahead, which means we're 2-2.
We are 2-2. Yeah, going on to the final game of this best of 5 series for the first round of the World Series.
Nice.
Loving it. GLA mirrors are a thing.
Yeah, delay mirrors. Woo, twice in a row, aren't we lucky?
Get hype and a half. Kassad, having taken our previous GLA mirror, let's see if we can pull it off again. We'll be spawning in as our GLA vanilla.
And so will his enemy, his opponent, his adversary, his rival, his opposition, DustinRhodes.
Arch nemesis.
Damn it, yeah. I gotta keep going.
Man, you got a lot of them though. I was down for
nemesis.
that. I was just support
What
stuff
else do we have?
there, really. Mortal enemy.
Wait.
Suppose,
I mean, that's just adding an
enemy.
adjective onto enemy. I already said that. Yeah, but that's probably most
I'll
of
think
them.
of them during the cast. They are words that mean not your friend, the guy on the other side of the GLA match-up. See, yeah, I mean, another standard opener here, I suppose, from both of our players. This is the same way they opened in the previous game. Like, forward tunnel networks, I mean, how else does GLA normally open?
Well, this is a very defensive tunnel.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
I guess
he went for it last time as well, though. Like, it's the same BO.
It's not even that much more defensive than this one. It's a little bit further back, but not by much. The equivalent is about over here, I think, up here somewhere. And it just covers that choke point. But then it's kind of in a weird spot because it's not really close enough that the workers can retreat to it if they get harassed by technical. But it should allow him to prevent the technical from sneaking through, so long as he responds with a pop.
Certainly machine. No blood on the battlefield just yet. Could be in the early capture upgrade, in fact, coming out from DustinRhodes to Rebels running in. Yeah, very early capture upgrade, in fact. Could
And
mean
there's
a
first blood.
distinct... Yeah.
Even
First
though
blood.
There's actually no blood at all, so it's not really blood. There's some of the mods you have blood. It's pretty cool. Even though it looks a little bit silly, but it's still better than nothing. Oh, what? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Good micro, actually, by DustinRhodes.
Loving it. Yeah, so the early capture upgrade will probably negate any super early tech terror harassment. So it will just be the technicals here from
Or
DustinRhodes.
gets, what, two? Maybe even a third one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, only two, but still good harassment. I think as something as simple as that goes to show the amount of micro that goes into 0 hour, and especially something as iconic as the technical, because I feel like a lot of players in that situation where they misjudge the technical placement to crush the worker, and then they would have gone, oh no, and they panicked and they wouldn't have actually crushed that worker in time. But DustinRhodes obviously knew the exact way to move his technical around, that it would kind of turn on the spot and crush the worker with the front of it.
Does the slingshot trick. So
yeah, is that what it's called?
Well, a slingshot is where you have a vehicle traveling in one direction and you spin it around 180 to the other direction. So I mean, I suppose it works in this occasion. That is not where you want to be.
Man, Trump built a wall in front of this supply. Couldn't get through.
We can only hope for Kassad's sake that Hillary Clinton's elected in the.
Whoa, Blake.
There's a lack of walls. remaining to block off his technicals for the rest of this game.
Careful, bro. You'll start a riot of politics.
I wouldn't want to do that, Machine. It's not something I want to do.
Too late. There's already, I can
it's
already see
happened.
it in my head.
Bad stuff, man. Bad stuff. Currently, DustinRhodes, though, he's ahead. I mean, to some degree, he has the oil. He has the oil derrick up and done. The refinery as well, which certainly adds advantage to going for that early capture upgrade. Both of our players having these third supplies, so at least for the moment, I feel like DustinRhodes is in a good position.
This is not a GLA mirror yet until there's buggies.
Yeah.
Oh, Scorpion tanks. So actually, since they're GLA vanilla, you'll probably see the Scorpion tanks become a bit more prominent. I think it's actually something that we haven't seen much lately, though. I mean, 0 Hour is such an old game that I don't know if you can really talk about meta, because it would have already been figured out after so long, over 10 years. But I certainly think that I remember casting a lot more Scorpion plays in GLA mirrors than what we see now. Mainly it's technicals, but the Scorpion mixed in is going to be great against the quads. But there's actually some RPGs there for support, so on its own won't be too effective. But he's popping it out for the regen. Good tunnel micro there from Kassad.
Yeah, really nice. Would have been good if DustinRhodes managed to deny the tunnel network and...
Scrap, bro.
Get a scrap, bro. Scrap, bro.
Aw,
bro.
man. I guess, okay, he wants to play technical instead.
Technical.
But, no! That was the most soul-crushing thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm really sad. Do we have to keep casting, man?
Nah, I'm going home.
I think I need to call someone. I need some chocolate or something. I'm not happy. That was sad. It was Look, all that technical's dreams were right in front of him. They were right in front of him, and they're ended by an RPG shell. That is it's sad, Machine. It is indeed sad. Still seeing engagement. Quads and a toxin tractor. Contaminate for swag points.
These RPGs are actually walking through the toxin tractor, through the toxin shells on the ground, and just get owned.
They get completely and utterly wrecked, Machine. And you're right when you say there certainly isn't a meta in 0 Hour, but I think you can say that there are trends. There are trends in 0 Hour, and currently the trend has been away, I suppose, at least in some degree to the games that we cast, away from heavy Scorpion play.
I think it's more just because while the game hasn't changed, the maps certainly have.
That's true.
And since we seem to be casting, well, really, when I say we, the community, playing more open maps due to the fact that most 0 Hour games, at least that we cast, are not clan wars, they're tournaments. And on clan wars, it was always TD. Now on tournaments, there's a lot of different, more open maps, which I guess make technicals a bit more useful because they're more mobile. But the Scorpions are getting some work done. May actually deny this third supply. Toxin Tractor gets the evac on the house, gets back in, so good micro there by DustinRhodes.
And I hope that Kassad realizes how many swag points he loses if he doesn't pick up scrap with Scorpions.
How mad do you think that Scorpion would be? Like, don't worry, bro, I'll leave the scrap for you, it's fine. You can have the scrap, I don't mind. And he's like, are you sure? Like, look, it's fine, you can have it.
It's alright, don't worry.
Gets it and just gets one shot by an RPG.
After all his kindness, this is a complete role reversal, Machine, because this time it's DustinRhodes that has control over the whoa, move that rebel in too early. The cap on the drop didn't go down.
Oh, whoops.
Oopsies.
What was the capping and he stopped it?
He stopped the cap. Oh. Yeah, he did the machine cap, but in 0 Hour.
Yeah,
so.
it transfers, I suppose.
Yeah. I think it works, man. I'm down with it. Very hard to evac tunnels into this army as well. I mean, buggies is one thing. Yeah, you got to be careful about the splash, but whatever. When it comes to Scorpions up close and personal with rocket splash and just sheer damage on the main guns, you don't really want to pop anything out when the Scorpions are in range of the tunnel network.
So the third supply wasn't denied there. So DustinRhodes still in a great spot, having the oil derrick and the refinery as well. Having some buggies mixed in too, starting to get them up. And with the black market there finishing up soon for the buggy ammo upgrade, DustinRhodes looking even stronger. But Kassad has a pretty big army here of Scorpions, but with the garrison, the tunnels, and the buggies, DustinRhodes should be able to hold long enough to get this critical mass of buggies.
Seems like a really crucial play that we saw there from DustinRhodes on the right-hand side. Very well microed. Doxon Tractor, takes out the garrison. Evac 4 RPGs instantly into the garrison, takes out the tunnel network, and kind of frees up this right-hand side to some degree. We don't really see those two lines of tunnel networks existing anymore.
This garrison has proven to have such a big impact, despite being a pretty small garrison. I think, well, never mind that. Buggies on the side here are going to be taking a couple of Scorpions, but no buggy ammo upgrade, so not that effective just yet. Scorpions are quite durable relative to other GLA units. I think part of the reason why is because most players build their supply on the very right side like this. I think it's great because then it's near the garrison and then it's easy to protect it, assuming you have the garrison. Where if you have it here, or especially even over here, then it's just more exposed.
Yeah. Got to play to the map you're on, machine, and our players certainly are doing that. Double buggy ammo done, and these Scorpions are decimated. Kassad, again, you're kind of rolling the dice there. Will you micro your buggies? Chances are you probably will.
I just thought of something funny. Going mass Scorpion heavy, it's a lot like Roach Ravager, isn't it?
Oh!
It's very mid-game. You want to have a big impact with it, because it doesn't scale as well into the late game as you're trying to go for that early tech of the buggies, and then instead of having the mobility of technicals and RPGs.
So what are these buggies then? Like battle cruisers? Or
no, they're ultras.
Oh, they're ultras.
Okay, so. Well,
all right, it is a GLA mirror, of course. Yeah, so they have to be something. Yeah, okay, they're ultras, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have your tech RPGs are basically Ling Banelings. And then Scorpions are Roach Ravager. It actually works very well in terms of what they represent in the timing of the tech and the commitment to them. But we actually have the buggies now for Kassad as well. So now the GLA mirror has begun.
Man, if you had no understanding of RTS timing, you could say that StarCraft copies Zero Hour.
Well, there's no Ravagers in StarCraft 1.
There aren't? No, there are roaches, aren't there? So
no, there aren't even roaches.
Aren't there roaches?
No, there are. There's no banelings either.
Right.
That's why Zerg mirrors were so boring in Brood War, because there were Zerglings. Hydras, no, definitely not. There were lurkers. Hydras were a bit different in Brood War. Hydras were, because the Hydras in StarCraft 2 are more anti-air.
Right.
Whereas they're more just general units. Yeah. They're kind of more like stalkers, like they're just general units in Brood War. At least from a TVZ perspective, Hydras are only really for anti-air.
There you go. The more you learn. I was never that big into StarCraft 1.
Yeah. I like how we have so much time to talk about StarCraft because it's a GLA mirror and there's GLA mirror things happening where there's just pops and unpops and buggies and things. Yeah,
for future reference, I'm a fan of the analogy machine. I'm all over that.
Excellent.
It's great. Great to see. We will, with our masterfully delayed speech, be able to now count black markets and count Jarman kills.
That garrison going down was the death sentence for all these RPGs. They weren't actually microed into the tunnel though. Could have saved a couple of them. Scudstorm's being completed now for Kassad, having that one out a little bit earlier. Very forward black markets though. 1, 2 black markets, 3, maybe 4, I think, in addition to that Scudstorm that's being thrown down. This is really weird placement. Not only is it so far forward, it's very clumped up. He could definitely lose both of those to, I mean, even a Tech Terror would get both of them. I remember one time we saw a player, I think it was Phoenix even, he built his supply drop zone in a really far forward spot, and we were like, oh, I don't want to doubt it, because he probably has a reason, and then he was like, no, it's a misclick, it's supposed to be a Patriot. So maybe this was maybe one's supposed to be a tunnel or something, I don't know, but either way, see, they're getting destroyed by the buggies here. Oh no! So easy for them to be harass machine. Though, it may lose, only one buggy, so that was a great harassment by DustinRhodes, but at the same time, the third supply gets killed from DustinRhodes. Yeah, a considerable amount of supplies still in the area machine, so a worthwhile engagement. And Kassad's actually pulled ahead of the buggy count, it seems, despite having that big Scorpion composition that he went for. Yeah. Wow. Got to transition, man. Transition out of that Roach Ravager. That's what I'm talking about. Black market count for DustinRhodes. He certainly went black markets earlier, as far as I'm aware. We did see quite an early black market from him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually has the advantage in the black market count machine. Does he though? Yes, he does. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. But of course, the fact that Scudstorm is there on the field, and there's a second one, I believe, being built now. Command Center, Scudstorm, black market. So this game definitely looks like it's going in the favor of Kassad. despite that really late oil cap. But there's just so many buggies now. The tunnels must be full of something here, though. Oh, not even. Wow.
A few buggies, that's about it.
Whoa, that's a lot of tunnels here.
Yeah. How
Pretty
the
good
splits?
micro there. Gets almost all the buggies. Only one survives.
Really nice splits there from Kassad. DustinRhodes, decent micro, but with buggy fights, a lot of it's to do with who fires first. Given it a full, it takes almost not quite a full barrage to kill a buggy in a buggy engagement. So like if you fire first, there's a chance that that buggy doesn't get enough shells off.
Well, it only takes, what, 2 or 3 rockets, and a barrage is about 8 or something. So you can...
Yeah.
A single buggy can probably kill 3 buggies if it's microed correctly.
I think it's about... I thought it was like half a barrage. I think
Nah, it wouldn't be that many. So,
oh. It's hard to tell because of splash damage as well.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a lab it, I think, to find out. And it'll also depend on, obviously, on... veterancy is going to matter there as well, but I was under the impression it was...
Oh yeah, so it's actually more than I thought. It's about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But then I think also they fire more. Because they obviously fire like 20 or so in... Yeah, I don't know. Either way.
Look, we'll work it out.
This is the ultimate way to counter buggies, though, is get that flank on the side. But the Rebel Ambush too is very effective. It's actually quite committed into the Rebel Ambush. They're only vanilla Rebels, so they can't do too much, but having them near buggies can be quite devastating.
Certainly can. 2 Scud Storms up here for Kassad. 119, 3 minutes.
This is the ultimate difference between us and Dominator. Yeah. Dominator would be like, oh yeah, this many rockets, they fire this many, and he would just know all these numbers.
Yeah, he would know so many stats.
And we're just like, I don't know, maybe. Please no flame. So.
I like the pretty red ones, Machine. I like the pretty red ones. I'm a big fan. Jarman in the front as well. What's he getting focused by? Is it the tunnel?
It was a tunnel,
yeah.
But he re-stealthed in time. GG.
GG. Yeah.
So DustinRhodes now is the winner of his first round.
DustinRhodes is defeated.
Is he? Oh, yeah. what he said.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. DustinRhodes is indeed defeated. Kassad pulling ahead in Cash 2. So that was actually a great series. The first 3 games in particular were fantastic. And that's as I said earlier in the series, this is all we're going to be doing of the first round of the World Series, because most of the games looked very one-sided. Whenever I look at replays, I generally have a look at the game length, so I have a pretty good idea of how long they go for. And in terms of the file size, you can look at the file size, which tells you the length of the game without actually spoiling it. So I look at their replays and go, oh yeah, this should be a good series. Where a lot of the series, most of them are just, they look like they'll be over in 20 minutes, like including all 5 games. Whereas in round 2, then we'll start having some very interesting matchups.
For sure, yeah.
So we'll definitely do those. Stay tuned. And thank you for watching. It's been a blast. We do always enjoy casting these series when we have the opportunity to do so. So thanks to everyone who's been running the World Series. I think mainly CNC HD. The guy's done a lot for the community. And of course, a big thanks to our Patreon backers for allowing us to focus on the channel full time, pump out a video every single day, which is a big commitment, but we do enjoy it, and that's why we spend so much time doing it. So if you do want to support the channel, help us keep the dream alive and keep posting out more RTS videos, then do consider perhaps a backing on Patreon. You can get your replay casted, or you can join our Facebook group, get a shirt. Not that shirt though. You have to join.
Not this shirt. So you have to join my my kickboxing dojo to get this shirt. So. Dojo. Yes. So you'll have to get in and get in on that. But you'd have to fly to Australia. It'd be tough. It'd be a big time commitment. It's probably better if you just support us on Patreon. So
yeah, you can do that instead.
If you would like to
get one of these.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
See you next time.